Welcome again to the Old Principle English Instructional Program. 欢迎你来看老校长的英文节目。Okay, are you ready for another lesson? This story I've told many times because it has a very powerful 强有力的一个教训 and I have thought about this so many times over the years. But before we get into it, we need to say this is lesson number 6, in the middle of a storm. 在暴风雨当中。Have you ever been in the middle of a storm? I think we all have been in the middle of a storm. So, at this point, we will listen to Mrs. Ash read the story. Afterwards, we'll be right back.
Number 6. In the middle of a storm. Have you heard of Black Tuesday? On September 11, 2001, terrorists attacked the World Trade Center in New York City. Many people died. I wasn't there, and probably you weren't either, but many of us have experienced crises that felt to us just as bad as Black Tuesday. When we are hurting, when we are in the middle of a crisis, we can only think about ourselves and our pain. I feel so bad. Life isn't fair. I'm so unlucky. Some people even think, God must be punishing me. Here is something we need to understand. We can never know the truth of a situation when we are in the middle of the crisis. I could tell many stories, but today I've chosen one from the Bible, a story about Jesus and his students. All day long, Jesus taught hundreds of people who came to him. Sometimes he even healed their sicknesses. At the end of the day, he was very tired, so he told his students to take him across the lake. He wanted some quiet time away from the crowds of people. While they sailed the boat, the teacher went to the back of the boat and fell asleep. But before long, a terrible storm hit the lake. The wind blew hard. The waves were high. The boat was beginning to fill with water. At the height of the storm, if you were to ask Jesus' students, "What is the truth about this situation?" they would say, "We are going to die." But was that the truth? Did they die? No. Jesus, the teacher, stood up and commanded the storm to stop. Even nature obeyed his command. I often think of this story when my life seems not to be going smoothly. The truth of the situation will become clearer later on. And I personally have also come to the conclusion that I cannot know the truth of a circumstance until I have heard from God.
Welcome back. We begin today's story by saying, have you ever heard of Black Tuesday? 黑色的星期二. Maybe you've never heard of it. Maybe sometimes when what we call Black Tuesday in the 在西方 in the West, maybe said a little bit different, but anyway, this is the way we say it, Black Tuesday, 黑色的星期二. On September 11, 2001, terrorists. A terrorist, 恐怖分子. Terrorists attacked the World Trade Center. Okay, in New York City, many people died. I'm sure if you're a little bit older, you remember in 2001 that terrorists, 恐怖分子 attacked 攻击世贸中心 okay, where's that? In New York City. In New York City. Okay, and many people died. Many people died. So, if many people died, what does that mean? Go ahead. I wasn't there. You weren't there probably either. 我没有在场. And you probably weren't there either. In fact, I would be quite surprised. In fact, if you were there, you might want to write an email to me. I'll send you something special if somehow you can prove that you were there. That would be cool. But many of us have experienced crises. Really? 我们每一个人, I say many, I would say all of us, sooner or later, we all 经历 experienced crises, 危机 that felt to us just as bad as Black Tuesday. 对我们来说, to us, it felt just as bad as Black Tuesday. 我们感觉, 我们的感受 maybe is better, 好像是 Black Tuesday 一样. Whoa. Have you had that experience? We all have had bad experiences. Maybe as bad as Black Tuesday going on. When we are hurting, when we are in the middle of a crisis, we can only think about ourselves and our pain. Now, are you clear on this? When we are hurting, 我们疼痛的时候，或痛苦的时候, when we are in the middle of a crisis, 我们在危机当中的时候, all we can think about is ourselves and our pain. Ourselves and our pain. Right now I'm coughing, so we'll take a little drink here. That makes you always feel a little bit better. If you're thirsty now, it's a good time to go get a drink of water. No, wait for just a couple more minutes and we'll be done with this lesson. When you are hurting, when you are in the middle of a crisis, 我们只能够想到我们自己和我们的痛苦. Going on. I feel so bad. I feel so bad. Life isn't fair. 人生一点都不公平啊. I am so unlucky. 我倒霉. 我真的倒霉. I'm unlucky. Some people even think, some people think God must be punishing me. 肯定是上帝惩罚我了. I've heard many people say that. 我倒霉. God must be punishing me. But is that really true? Is that really true? Feeling so bad, life isn't fair, 一点都不公平, 等等的. Going on. Here is something that we need to understand. 我们必须明白的一件事情. we can never know the truth of a situation when we are in the middle of a crisis. Do you understand that? 我们没有办法了解真相。Okay? In the middle of a crisis, 在危机中啊，当中啊。This is very important. Truth, 真相。In the middle of a crisis, 危机当中啊。Going on. I could tell many stories. I could tell some of my own stories. But today I've chosen one Bible story, 是一个圣经的一个故事 about Jesus and his students. Well, actually, his students, 他的学生是叫门徒 disciples, his students. And they had an experience that illustrates this experience. Now, going on, all day long, Jesus taught hundreds of people who came to him. If you have ever read anything about the life of Jesus, you know that he was a great teacher. 真的是伟大的一位老师. So he was teaching all day long. I get tired just teaching for a couple hours. He was teaching all day long. 一整天啊, he's teaching. Many people coming and going. Sometimes hundreds and hundreds of people. Sometimes he even healed their sicknesses. 医治他们的病. So here he is healing their sicknesses and he's teaching. Let me ask you a question. If you did that all day long, would you be tired? Of course you would be tired. Going on. At the end of the day, he was very tired, just like you and me. So he told his students, his disciples, to take him across the lake. Now, that wasn't too hard because they had boats. His students were fishermen. They had boats. So they said, take me across the lake. 要过这个湖. Okay? Some people call it 加利利海,不过这个是一个湖啊. Okay? Take me across the lake. So, that's what they did. Going on. He wanted some quiet time away from the crowds of people. 他要找到一个安静的时刻，逃离这个群众的这个很多人。He just wanted peace and quiet. Okay, we say quiet time, 安静的时间呢，安静的时刻，他就是找这个啊。Away from the crowds, 群众，这个逃离群众。Going on. While they sailed the boat, 当他们开船的时候 the teacher, 这个就是耶稣 went to the back of the boat. So he's going to the back of the boat and he fell asleep. 他就躺下来睡着. Man, if it were me and I'd done all of that, I would be very, very, very tired. I would have gone to sleep in an instant. Well, he went to sleep. But Before long, a terrible storm hit the lake. 暴风雨就来到这个湖面。Whoa, this terrible storm hit the lake going on. The wind blew hard. The waves were high. The boat was beginning to fill with water. Uh-oh. Let's look at it again. The wind blew hard. 风刮得好厉害。When the wind blows hard, what happens to the waves? 这个浪就开始起来。The waves were high. And the boat was beginning to fill with water, which means that when we say fill with water, the water was coming into the boat. Tell me, if a boat is filled with water, will it float? 会不会漂流? Of course not. Well, if it's wood, it might float down in the water, but that's too late. It's too late. So it was beginning to fill with water. The wind, the waves, the water going on. At the height of the storm. So the height of the storm, 最高潮的最厉害的时候 if you were to ask Jesus' students, if you were to ask them, what is the truth of our current situation, 现在的情况，这个真相啊，真相何在？ Where is what is the truth of the matter? There is only one response. Wind, waves, and the waves are high. And what's happening? The water is coming into the boat. In just a few minutes, a few seconds, they're going to go down. What's the truth? 真相是在哪里? They would say, we're going to die. We're going to die. 没希望, we're going to die. That's the truth. That's what they said the truth was going on. But was that the truth? 真的是真相吗? Did they die? Did they die? No, they did not die. Eh? But if you would have asked them, they would say, we're dying. But they didn't die. Now, let's continue on. Jesus, who was the teacher, okay, he stood up. Actually, the Bible says they woke him up and say, teacher, don't you care? We're dying. That was the truth, according to them. Jesus stood up and commanded the storm to stop. 命令这个暴风雨停止. Even nature obeyed his command. 连自然界是听他的命令. Wow. Now we come to the interesting part going on. I often think about this story. Often think about this story when my life seems not to be going smoothly. 当我的人生生活上不很顺畅，不很顺利的时候 I often think about this story. I think about this story. The truth of the situation will become clearer later on. For me, the truth of the situation, the truth of my situation, my sickness, my problems, other people's problems, the difficulties I had, 我的困难，面临的困难 the truth, 真相 the truth of the situation will become clearer later on. 以后会变得更加清楚 Now, maybe not so clear, but in the future, it will be much clearer going on. And I personally have also come to this conclusion. This is my own personal conclusion, and that is 我自己的总结 okay, that I cannot know the truth, any truth, until I have heard from God. 等到听上帝说明，我才知道这个真相。Whatever the case is, I think that you will agree that some of the most nerve-wracking, difficult, painful, 很痛苦的经验 experiences that you've ever had after a period of time, it seems that the pain, 这个疼痛，这个痛苦 is less and less and less. And we often begin to understand why things happen. You know, I don't know what your experience is, but we've all had painful experiences. And I have discovered that if I wait long enough, I will be able to figure them out. For instance, what happens when you have a car accident, 车祸? Even if it's not your problem, 就算不是你的问题, but you have this car accident, what do you say? 倒霉. Well, once upon a time, there was a man, a businessman, and he was driving his car, and a car behind 撞到他的后面. Of course, 这种情况之下，后面的人是有错. You should always 保持距离. Okay? So you always should keep a distance. So if you run into a car ahead of you, then it's not it's not your problem. It's the guy who crashed into you. Okay? But when this businessman he was at an intersection, 他在十字路口停, and the other car crashed into him. When he got out of the car, the other driver was thinking, 哎呀，他肯定会骂我了. But in this case, he simply said, he looked at his car, the damage, 这个损害, and the damage to his car, and this is what he said. Of course, the driver of the one car said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, it was my fault." Okay, and the businessman, he simply said this: "Oh, this will be interesting. Oh, this is interesting." 这个是很有趣的. You mean you're not angry? You're not going to 骂我一顿吗? No. This is interesting. If we take that attitude, then our life will become less stressful. 我们人生会少很多压力, less stress, because life is interesting. 人生是很有意思了. Anyway, that's my story for today. You can never know the truth in the middle of a storm. 在暴风雨绝对没有办法了解真相. Just remember that. Well, we do have an email address. 我们电邮的地址是 theoldprinciple@gmail.com, and our website address, 我们的网站网址是 www.theoldprinciple.org. Hey, it's been great spending this time with you, and I look forward to being with you next time too. Until then, bye-bye.